Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with the third episode for our Throne of the God Pharaoh deck. So I have made a few changes, a singular change actually, to the deck. The one thing that I didn't think was really working or was really that useful was the dramatic reversals, which were the ones that untapped every non-land permanent. Although that is kind of good in a defensive strategy, it was a little bit hit and miss, and a lot of the times we were drawing that card quite dead. So I thought instead we'd actually deal with the other issue of the deck, which is against aggro and creature-heavy decks. So we've actually added in some compelling deterrences to essentially return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And if we control a zombie, i.e. we've got some zombies tokens on the battlefield, then they have to discard a card as well. So it can be removal later down the line as well. So that's essentially the only change to the deck. I don't think dramatic reversals are really doing the job. The only real good situation that they were in was either if we had zombies on the field and we could untap them to survive, excuse me, or we had the pyramid on 3 counters and we wanted to generate an extra single mana, which I don't think either of them is worth running a card that's dead the other 60% of the time. So those are the changes. Let's go on to the matches. I will see you there. Alright, we're on the play, and we've got a turn 2 defensive spell into a turn 3 piece of the puzzle. Quite a lot of lands, unfortunately, but I think we'll take it. There are worse hands, and I'm likely to draw them if I mulligan, so I'm not going to. Swamp into Thraben Gargoyle. Delirium, maybe, then? Not sure why you run that card, to be honest. Unless you're either memeing or you don't have all the cards. But I imagine, considering the full arts, they're either investing their gold very poorly or they definitely put this in here for a reason. Cultivator's Caravan. It doesn't ramp us into anything right now, so I'm just going to pieces the puzzle. Illumination and a Rise from the Tides, dropping a pyramid and a Thing in the Ice, plus a land. Not ideal, of course. It's mono black, and this gargoyle is doing a lot of work for them right now, in that it will probably do absolutely nothing for them for quite some time. Right, well, we can actually ramp and take inventory here, so let's do that. Got 1, 2, just 2 in the graveyard at the moment. Instants and sorceries, that is. But our opponent's given us plenty of time. Kalitas. Kalitas can be bounced. And also I really don't care because he's not going to be able to exile anything anyway, so there is that. So, the only downside is he's going to be gaining life, which slows us down a little bit. I guess I'm just going to bounce it and then also use Hydrolash as a cantrip or something like that. Maybe even just hold up a counter, see if he wants to not use his Kalitas. This isn't a zombie, is it? No, it's definitely a gargoyle. Just a gargoyle. Alright, bounce that. And we've got a counter for it on the way back with the Insidious Will. Goodbye, Kalitas. Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice. Yeah, we've got Illumination held up. He's probably got loads of removal, though. He'll be holding on to it for the entire game. Thing in the Ice will be his first target, so Grasp of Darkness, Murder, Fatal Push. So many things that kill Thing in the Ice, including an Obnixilis. But he ticks up. Interesting. Well, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was going to say it won't let me play the card then. Play it. Thank you. Draw 2 cards. Hydrolash and another Illumination. And a Throne of the God Pharaoh. So we can go 1, 2, 3 Hydrolash, another 3 Hydrolash. Can't flip Thing in the Ice this turn. So what do we do instead? I guess we just try to cram as many instants into the graveyard as possible. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment. Throne in hand with 4 mana left open for an Illumination. We'll play Throne now. He's in mono black. Don't think he's got any answers for this. Takes 0. Ticks up. Takes 1, draws a card. Nicholas ultimates at 8. Something to consider. And, oh, why is it whenever you click on it, it just goes, do you want to cycle it? No, I don't. I never wanted to cycle it. And now it lets me cast it. Duels. Why you do this? I could have flipped Thing in the Ice this turn and killed Obnixilis potentially. But it was not meant to be. Piece of the puzzle. Mill some crap into our deck, into our graveyard again. Very close to Wear of Invention and a Scatter to the Wind seem good. Actually, maybe Compelling Deterrence for Obnixilis, to be honest. He's going to be able to ultimate pretty quickly. Yeah, I think we might have to do that. And pays to flip his Gargoyle. He's got 4-2. He's going to finally hit us a little bit. So, tick up with Obnixilis. He's got an Ever After. Gonna get back Kalatas. And takes down his Obnixilis. Sure. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Drownyard Temple. Can play Caravan with 5 mana open. Yeah, I think we ramp with the Caravan. I want to be able to part the Water Veil and Rise from the Tides simultaneously. I think that will actually get us the win. Let's see. So we've got 6 mana. We could double Hydrolash, which means we take nothing. Which gets us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into the graveyard, which is enough with a part of the Water Veil and a Rise from the Tides win. We need 12 mana. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So a Whir of Invention for a Pyramid. Tap the Throne. Still hold up Hydrolash, so he gains not very much life at all. But likely just a Compelling Deterrence with a Pyramid charge up, and that should give us enough time. Ticks up Obnixilis. Loses a life. And a Liliana. It's more lifelink. Obviously not ideal. And he's going to go to combat. Swing with everything. So we could either charge up our pyramid or we can Hydra Lash and take 2. I think we'll charge up our pyramid. Blue. Compelling Deterrence. Excuse me. Oh, thanks, game. I really appreciate that. Magic's just determined to make me lose today, it seems. Thraben Gargoyle. We get a land. So we got 6 for the Rise in the Tides, plus another 4 to Hydra Lash. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that then. So our opponent's going to take 9 from the throne. If he wants to languish away the board, he languishes away everything except for his Kalatas, and we bounce that with Compelling Deterrence. Otherwise, we just Hydra Lash and absorb the damage and swing back for lethal. Takes up and loses a life. Another gargoyle. So he's committing to the board, which is interesting to see. Still don't understand the gargoyles, but there you go. Oh. He's gonna make an Ormondal. Which, as long as the game doesn't screw me, he's getting bounced back to his hand. It does not screw me. Alright. Bounce that, please, and discard a card. Cruise up his Smuggler's Copter. Sure. And we're going to add some blue to our mana pool. Because we can. Take 3. And we win. So we swing in with all 9 of our zombies. That's 18 points. He absorbs 2 of it. Takes 16. And then even if he didn't, our tapped zombies are going to kill him with the Throne of the God Pharaoh. Minuses to get back a gargoyle. Sure. We'll also part the Water Veil and we'll take an extra turn as well. With Awaken, because I can. On a Drownyard Temple. Sure, why not? But he's dead just right here. GG! Alright, despite some client issues, we managed to make our way there, so the game did not screw us, and I'm happy with that. Alright, let's go on to the next game. See you there. Alrighty then, we're in, and we've got a Take Inventory and a Thing in the Ice. We could probably draw into another land for the Hydra Lash plus the Scribe. If we find some mill and we end up hitting a throne, then we've got that as well. Yeah, we'll take it. It's not the best hand in the world, but it does things, and that's all I can ask for, to be honest. As long as we can do things, this deck can win occasionally. Alright. We are matched up with another island. A matching island at that. Pretty. And we do get our other island. Wonderful. Alright, let's go with a thing in the ice. Pass the turn. So we have our third land so that we can stop anything creature focused, but I'm guessing with the blue it's not likely to be a creature focused deck. More likely to be control, which is going to be interesting. Esper, probably Esper control then. Alright, okay. So, we get another land. I'm not against that, to be honest. But I would have preferred it be something useful. Let's take infantry, draw a card, hope for like another take infantry. Compelling deterrence. That works. Suppose if they're for some reason using Sphinx's tutelage, we can bounce that away as well. But they're just holding up counters, which is completely fine. Because all we're going to do is take inventory again. And we get another counter off. And we get another fatal thing in the ice. We'll play that, it'll get countered. Or not. Yes, it will. She's fine. No. Okay. I'm guessing our opponent's got Fatal Push or Declaration in Stone, so this might not be the best thing in the world, but as it stands, this is our win condition. Languish. Yeah, sure. Absolutely fine. If we ever get to Rise from the Tides, that's one less board wipe for him to use against us. We've got a counter spell. I think I'm actually going to whir for the Pyramid so we can start generating some mana. He could land 5-drop into a Planeswalker though, that's the only thing, so we'll hold it until his end step. No reason to do it now if we've got Insidious Will. Tap land instead. Okay. Whir of Invention for 1. Just counter it. Go on. Even better. Having him counter these things isn't ideal, but it's better than him countering our win conditions. Well, we got ourselves a Pyramid. We can start putting some counters into that. And pass. Land into Walking Ballista. Well, first things first, we're going to put a counter. I guess we should counter this, since he can just spend his mana and do nothing. If we don't, he can just keep hitting us with that ballista and putting counters on it, which is not ideal. So, we can resolve something here, but there's nothing worth resolving. Stick another counter. Get a Scribe of the Mindful, I suppose. Hold up Compelling Deterrence. Scribe of the Mindful can get us Insidious Will, which gives us another counter. And we're 1 brick counter off of the Pyramid, generating 3 mana as well, so that's not bad either. Prairie Stream into Obnixilis. Gonna tick down, I guess. And he's ticking up. Okay. So I could pay 1 to sack to get back our Insidious Will. Yeah, we'll Compelling Deterrence because I can counter it on the way back down. Glyph Keeper. Oh, that'd be really good, actually. With Obnixilis, though, it can minus Obnixilis to take the protection off and then kill it. I'm sure he's got a murder or something like that. So maybe we do just try to counter the Obnixilis. So sack the Scribe, get Insidious Will. Then we can pay 2 to put a counter. We've got 4 mana open for the Will, and we put a counter on, even if he beats us in a counter war, which you could very well do with a land drop. And there it is. Still worth doing though. This actually allows us to resolve our Glyph Keeper then as well. Counter, he counters. Spell Shrivel, yep. So he is hoping for a counter. We're going to go for the Glyph Keeper though. Compelling Deterrence. You know that actually works, because if he minuses to take the protection off, then uses a removal spell, we'll bounce it back to our hand and ours won't get countered. Yeah, seems good to me. Plus we can embalm it as well for 7. And we can afford that. Thanks to our pyramid now. Fatal Push. No. Changes his mind. He's going to Telling Time. At least we know he's got a Fatal Push. So Fatal Push ends up killing it. He could minus and hold up a counter, I suppose. But this is worth trying nonetheless. Get an extra card out of him. And maybe he counters it on the way back down. Gotta make sure we can pay the Spell Shrivel costs though, because otherwise it gets exiled. So 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we can pay costs, not on a double Spell Shrivel, but that's 2 counters. And if it gets countered anyway, we've got the Embalm, which cannot be countered. Torrential Gearhulk. Alright. On the Spell Shrivel. You know we can pay that, right? He does have a Torrential Gearhulk now, though, which is annoying to say the least. So he swings for 5. We'll take you 5. We do have Hydra Lash later. Fatal Push to take the protection off. I'm assuming he's killing his Obnixilis. Yeah. Alright. And a Gideon. Yeah, we need an answer soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Rise from the Tides to 5 right now. Ooh, Crush of Tentacles. And the Gearhulk coming down doesn't really do a great deal for him. However, it does bounce our Pyramid. So, and then we're exactly on mana for the Glyph Keeper even without the Pyramid. So I guess I'll pay the 3. We'll Hydra Lash. Pay all the mana, please. Thank you. We've already cast it, so that pause just indicates that he's got a counter here. Well, let's try Surge. He's probably going to counter it. Scatter, yeah. Not really much we can do about this, though, is the problem. He's out of cards, but he's got all the board pressure in the world, and there's nothing really we can do about it. Telling time. Get something really good into his hand. We just didn't draw into any of our good stuff, to be honest. We kind of cycled a little bit, but didn't really get to where we wanted to be. Where the deck was supposed to be. We've got a refurbish in hand and no artifacts in the graveyard, for example. Now we're taking 12, we're dead next turn. And we drew a counter, so that's us essentially dead. I suppose we can add 3 blue, use some of that blue to put a counter on, get back a Glyph Keeper and survive. Oh no, we don't survive. Never mind. Of course we don't. But that's all we can do. Yeah, control versus combo. Control wins, hands down, every single time, pretty much. It's just to be expected. And this was no exception. Alright, that's going. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, I do offer it on Patreon for a $1 minimum donation. You get access to an extra Gwent video and an extra Magic video every single week. So if you do want to see more of this deck, then supporting me on Patreon is a good way of seeing it again. So it's completely optional though, and we will still be making more Magic content next week as well. So you're not really missing out too much. But if you want to see more, then that's something that's available to you. Anyway guys, don't forget to hit that little bell icon as well, right next to the subscription button, and that'll give you notifications when the next videos go up. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.